Well, hello again, you YouTube world. Today, here on Roadworthy Revivals, we are going to be once again wrenching on the 1947 Chrysler New Yorker with the Spitfire flathead straight 8 engine. To catch you up to speed on what we've done previously, to flashback, we found this car in a barn. Oh my goodness.
I think it's a 48 Chrysler. And he drove it in here.
Drove it in here. Yanked it out of that barn.
Yes!
Got it running, kind of, for a few seconds.
Whoa.
Keep it going! Yeah! Look at that! Woo! It runs! Drug it home with a tractor. Freed up the brakes.
Oh, look! It moved!
See?
It moved!
Enough hammer.
Yes!
Gave it a good Comet washing. We ended up pulling off the head and freeing up a couple stuck valves to get it running better.
Now we got it. Oh my gosh. It's so heavy. Oh,
I just shorted it out on the battery.
oh no!
We kind of got the brakes working.
Ah, come on.
Oh, it moved. And we took it for about a half-hour test drive, and the car ran pretty good. So we got some issues to solve. There's no charging system yet. I think that's part of the reason it kept crapping out on us after a while. We're currently running it on 12 volts, which I don't like. I'd like to get this thing running on 6 volts, get a proper 6-volt coil in this thing and enough amperage to run into it to make it do what it needs to. The fluid drive transmission, yes, this is a fluid drive, not a 3 on the tree. Typical H pattern. There's been a lot of confusion there in the comments section about that, but some of you guys know what we're looking at here. So, yeah, today I'm gonna back her off the trailer carefully because I got no brakes again, and we will put her up on the lift. We'll get a good look underneath the car. And we may end up washing it underneath, cleaning things. I think we got a couple brake lines we're going to have to make. I'm going to have to pull that master cylinder apart and properly hone it out, clean it, and get some real fresh fluid in there. Bleed the brakes, and hopefully those will work properly. And then really, I guess, got to focus on wiring, getting it to run on 6 volts, tinkering with that charging system, the voltage regulator. All that wiring is pretty shady looking in there. It hasn't been touched in a while, so wish me luck, guys. Thank you once again to all the new subscribers. It's great to have you here and that you're sticking around and coming back. It just motivates me to keep working on these things, and we're only going to find more. The channel's growing, so we're gonna keep pushing. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Alright, I think that was just the little license plate bracket catching there in the front. No big deal. But we're off safe and sound. We'll get her in the shop and get her lifted up. Alright guys, we got her in the shop. She's up on the lift. I'm going to give you your first look underneath here. We got as much light as we can so you can really see everything. This is pretty cool. This is our park brake assembly. The shoes aren't so great. They're kind of coming out of here and they're sort of oily. But it definitely looks like it was hung up before. It's all nice and polished now. And I was tugging on this to slow the car down and it sort of did something. So that seems to be functioning. And hey, maybe we could reline that sucker and make it work properly. Lube everything up here. Here's our transmission linkages. Look at the brake master from underneath. This is where that rear line rusted off. It looks pretty good everywhere else as far as brake lines go, other than right here some sort of vermin was chewing on it, but probably just run it. Floor pans look amazing. You know, just a little surface flakies here and there. I think, pressure wash it while it's up. Clean her up real nice. This is really neat. It says, warning, use 10W motor oil, and it's got a little arrow pointing to this fill plug on the transmission, so that's neat. Some sort of electrical doohickeys here for making that thing shift into low 2 and high 2, which currently aren't working because we're running on 12 volts, I think, so we have to play with that. Yeah, looking at the motor from under here, it's hard to see in this light. Let's see if I can make this better. I don't know. Up in there, yeah, you can kind of see all that fresh looking paint on the motor. I think this thing's had some work done to it. Sort of a drain plug doohickey there for, oh, that's the fuel, that's leaking, that's fine. Yeah, we got some newer Monroe maybe shocks it's had at one point. Yeah, I guess there's a tiny bit of rot there on this inner fender, not too horrible. You know, gigantic muffler. This thing is really quiet. The exhaust is in impeccable condition. You know, the rear end, all this stuff looks good. Leaf springs, nothing bent or broken. Fuel tank looks okay, and according to the gauge, it's like half full, so we'll have to play with that and see what's in it. You know, she has had a little bit of patchwork on this spare tire tub back here. But all in all, I'm really happy with how it looks under here. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my next step, which is clean this up and lubricate everything. Find all the grease nipples. There are definitely a few of them. And we'll put this back down and start working on the electrical. And well, I guess I might have to fix that brake line while it's in here too. Yeah, looking forward to this. It's a fun car to work on. Everything's a little different. And yeah, I like learning new things. So check this out, guys. I was flipping through the original shop manual that I found in the car to the engine section here, and it says here 44,500 miles, March 10th, 1978, rebuilt motor. New rings and bearings, vacuum advance, plugs, points, and condenser. How neat is that? So that explains why this thing sounds so good, and it's kind of got some new looking paint on it. So I think now I'm going to drain the oil out. I don't think it's going to be too terrible looking, but really, I know it hasn't been done in a long time, so better just make sure we're good. And coming out pretty quick, so it's not all sludgy. No traces of water or nothing. Doesn't appear to really have a magnet on this plug, so can't look at that. Yeah. I mean, a little black, but what do you expect? I think I'm just going to put some regular old 10W30 in this thing. It calls for SAE 30 in the manual in summertime and W10 in the winter. But yeah, there's not going to hurt it to put a modern 10W30 oil in this thing, as far as I understand. So, yeah, let this drain out for a couple hours, since I don't have any oil to put in it right now anyways. And the next thing we'll get to is firing up that pressure washer and cleaning this baby right off. We'll get rid of any scale and dirt and stuff that is on here and get her nice and cleaned up so that, well, a guy could go ahead and undercoat it if he wanted. You can actually see, looking at this rear end, sort of how deep it was sitting in the ground, probably right up about here. But thankfully it was just that kind of wet gravel and not muddy dirt. Otherwise this thing would be completely rotten. You know, these brake discs or backing plates would be gone. You know, we'd have no rockers. We got some tiny little holes here, but for sitting for so long, I'm just blown away at how good this car is underneath. Yeah. You know, U-joints, all that feels great. Cool. Well, that's our oil. We'll fire up the pressure washer here next, and we'll show you what this looks like after it's cleaned up. Hey, well, we gave her a good hosing down and let her dry off here overnight. Got a fair bit of gunk and mud and stuff off. All that loose bit of scale. So we're looking pretty good here. I think the only other thing I'm really going to do maybe is hit this oil pan with a wire wheel, get her cleaned right down, and just rust treat and paint that. You don't want that rusting through. And then yeah, maybe we'll check the fluids on this transmission here too. Then I'll probably move on to the brakes. That's quite a long line, I guess, all the way from there to here. And you know this is going to come undone just fine. Yeah, nope, it won't. Alright, so I'm going to also try and change on this oil filter here. Some old cartridge style thing. Couldn't get a new one off the shelf today, but there were a couple of Napa oil filters in the trunk. They got a little surface rust on them, but I think if they're the right ones, they'll still be good enough to use in here. Alright, this is pretty cool. Okay, there's our lid. And looks just like the ones that are in the trunk. Almost looks like there's a drain plug on the bottom of this canister too. You're probably supposed to drain that when you change the oil. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, looks like I got the right filters here. We'll just shove a new one in there, screw that lid back on with a new gasket, we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so we're going to go helmet cam here and see if we can't do something with these brakes. I'm going to put her up on the lift here, but I think first I'm going to pull this floor panel back out. The throttle pedal here is super sticky. I need to really work and lube this joint at the bottom. I did get it popped back onto this rod with
a lot of force. Let's see if we can get her back off now. Oh. There we go. Okay. And yeah, I guess I gotta get that battery out of here too. Come on. Yep. If anyone's ever picked up a 6-volt deep cycle battery before, but holy crap, are they heavy. Oh. All right. All the bolts were already removed from this floor pan when we started working on the car, so something's already must have been broken under here. Somebody just got lazy. I don't know. It is super handy though. Try not to tear the seat any more than it already is. Come on now. Stuck on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'll free up some room. Now, I guess I'll open up this master cylinder again while it's down here and see if there's anything still in there. I have my doubts. Pedal's just not doing anything anymore. I think that piston got stuck inside there again. Yeah, she's bone dry. Alright, so just went ahead and swapped out the 12-volt can for my new 6-volt can here. Got her wired up. Of course, positive side going to the distributor because we're running positive ground on this. Positive, here's the positive going to the ground. I'm gonna go see if she will start. I haven't tried this with the engine running on all 8 cylinders yet, so hey, it might work. Or it might not. Here. I mean, it's cranking better than it did before. But you don't want to start. Yeah, I mean, these battery cables aren't doing us any favors. But maybe if I throw my 6-volt battery charger onto here, give us a little extra juice. Well, hate to say it, but this fuel line to the tank is plugged solid. I stuck my Super Sucker 9 million on there, built up a big vacuum, and nothing happened. I stuck the air hose on there full pressure, and it ain't going through. So the other thing I did is stick a small screwdriver in here. This part of it's all clear, so it may be back at the tank end. I'm gonna have to mess with those lines under the car and see if I can find that plug, or just run a new line to the tank. But while I was messing around with that, we've had this charger sitting on here for, I don't know, a good 15-20 minutes. But we might as well give her another try here. Give her a couple squirts of fuel. Hey, there we go. Okay, so it's running. What happens if I turn the head? Oh, we got a light on the dash. Okay. Let's go see if they're on. Any turn signal? Why not? Oh yeah, we got headlights. Oh, one. That's good. Nice and bright too. Okay, turn those back off.
Oh, it's running on its own. See that? No way. No, it's not good for it to do that for very long, but that tells me the charging system works. Aha! Okay, that's good news. So high, but oh, there we go. High idle was on. Okay. Well, we're running on 6 volts. Inside here, our ammeter was just above 0. Now it's right there. Let's turn the headlights on. You see it wiggle around. I'm gonna settle back on 0. Panel lights, those don't work. Heater fan, yeah, that draws some juice. And the headlights. I can't remember where the wipers are on this darn thing. Defrost, horn, or is this for my wipers? Maybe. Gotta be a wiper switch in here somewhere. Huh. Anyway, it's running on 6 volts. I wonder if I can get the floor back in and see if I can't get it to shift. I don't know if I'm able to film that, but I'm going to try it. Okay, well, we clearly have issues. Took her down the road, and man, I had to just hold her wide open. She was belching out all kinds of weird smelling smoke. Not exactly sure what the cause of that was. Well, yeah, we're still smoking a lot. Where's that coming from? Just hot. I don't know. It smells a bit like clutch. There's some weird clutch chattering going on or something. Yeah, smoke does appear to be coming from the transmission. Yeah, you know, I haven't yet actually checked the transmission fluid, so that would probably be wise at this point. It could be low, and that could be why we're getting that god-awful smoke. I mean, it looks like it's on fire, really. I'm gonna unhook that right now. And I think I'm gonna pull that plate back off and have a look inside. Okay, so whipped off that cover again. Definitely very warm. Sorry, definitely very warm in here. But the smoke is coming directly off of the park brake. So that's obviously dragging somewhat. So that's actually much better than a smoking clutch. We'll just free that up and make sure that's working the way it should before we drive it again. And we'll also check the transmission fluid. Okay, I think that's a wrap for tonight. We've messed around. We got to get some parts. But we had our first drive on 6 volts, so okay, that's gonna do her for tonight. You know, we didn't really accomplish a ton in this video, but I gotta order parts and I gotta get a video out for those of you that are following this car, and of course anyone with any tips or tricks along the way to help me get this thing working the way it should, do let me know. But it looks like we do have a 6-volt charging system that works. I'm really happy with that. We're going to order some brake parts, get that brake line changed out, probably fix some of the janky worn out mouse tube wiring before the next video rolls. Definitely figure out that park brake. Yeah, I'm just going to keep talking to myself all night. But yeah, you guys just stay cool. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm having fun with this. I hope you're enjoying watching it. And we're gonna keep working on this car till you say we're done. How's that? Till next time.